Double R Flowtown. I was AIing our guest this morning, and you know what AI said?
He's the coolest man to ever live in Florence.
Oh, you got a local legend coming in today. That's what AI said, and I agree. Kyle, thank you for coming, dude.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah,
all
man.
Local legend.
We're happy.
They said
to
he's
have
got the best beard in town.
Yeah.
Yep.
And you can do videos like no other, dude.
Thank
You have naturally got the
Well,
knack
he can
for
feed us like no other.
and you can feed us like no other.
Thank you.
So
Yeah, man.
Yeah. We went from the back page of the newspaper. If you know anything about the back page of the newspaper, you don't want to be there.
Yeah.
To somewhere in the middle.
There you
I
go.
think you're.
There you
I
go.
think you're more to the front. You're to the front.
yeah.
We had somebody in town the other day from out of town, and they're like, "Oh, I don't know if you were with me. Tubbs was all they could talk about. They love coming to Florence just to eat at Tubbs."
It's better seafood than you'll ever get in Merle's Inlet. I mean, so how do you do it?
So like my passion for seafood is just like in my DNA. My grandfather was a fishmonger my whole life. When kids were walking into his little cinder block seafood market in Sunset Beach,
Yep.
going, it stinks in here. Looking up their dad, stuff like that. And I'd look at Papa Joe. He'd say, "Smells like money to me."
There you go.
You know, I mean, like I fell in love with him and his work ethic, right?
Wow.
And his love was seafood, right? So I guess that's where it came to me.
My family, we vacation in Ocean Isle Beach every year, and we'll boat along the Intercoastal Waterway. And my dad loves, every time we go by Tubbs Inlet at Sunset Beach, he's like, "That's Tubbs Inlet. That's Tubbs Inlet."
I grew up
telling his grandkids all about it.
Yeah, I grew up flounder fishing and just hanging out in Tubbs Inlet. Like I was super fortunate. I guess from like the age of 12, I would just go up there and stay for the summer, and I'd be the first one in the seafood market. And that consists of, getting there at 6:30 in the morning, icing everything down, right? Everything in these ice, these big, huge display coolers. Icing everything down, getting all the lights on, getting everything cut on, and then here come my grandpa whistling through the door at 7:30, and then I would just get to be elbow to elbow with him till about 3, go home, wash, and then run upstairs to the restaurant and bust tables all night, and loved it.
That's
like loved it. And then when you're not off, you just get to sit on the beach and fish, and it's just. I love Florence, but y'all can't keep me here the rest of my life. I'm gonna be sitting on some kind of beach doing very little to nothing.
Do you ever see putting another restaurant at Sunset?
So before I had Tubbs, my last season working with my grandfather, I was in my early 20s, 21, 22. And so this is like 7, 8 years grinding out with him. He looked at me and said, "Hey, I'd like to, give you a 10% of this business, and then show you an opportunity to work to owning more of this business, And at the time, I had people in my ear saying, "Hey, man, that might not be the right move for you. Come on back to Florence, where I kind of had a home base established. My mom was here at the time, and and so I left and I didn't do it. And then so fast forward 3 years ago, he sold it. I think he was 81, 82 at the time, and had worked every day up until then.
He was still working.
Oh,
there.
hell yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
Absolutely.
awesome.
He probably started when he was 12 or something like that.
Dude, I mean, like, and so he sold it, and a gentleman purchased Bill's Seafood, which is the seafood market, and the convenience store downstairs. And they also got the restaurant upstairs. And it's a beautiful 200 seats overlooking the Intercoastal Waterway, gorgeous, right? And those guys have not been able to find success with that restaurant,
Really?
right? They've had 3 or 4 different. They'll lease it out now. 3 or 4 different guys come there and lease it out, and it's not worked out well. I rode by there. I went to Sunset 2 weeks ago to go cut my grandma's grass, and you can't go there and not. It's right there at the roundabout. You got to pass it every time you go there, and I see it, and it's just like.
Is it right there on the bridge overlooking the Intercoastal at Sunset?
So you know where the roundabout is?
Yeah.
It's the restaurant at the roundabout.
Yeah.
Before they had the big overpass bridge, they had the pontoon bridge at Sunset, right?
Yep.
It was like the last pontoon bridge on the East Coast.
Yeah.
I loved it, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But on every hour, that thing opens up, you know what I'm saying? Like, so they got rid of that. So my grandfather's just right down there.
Yeah.
I mean, beautiful real estate, great piece of property. In a great business model, but this guy's come in there and the restaurant's just going to shit. Well, they can't even. They're not. The restaurant's not even open, and the summer season's coming. They painted the whole building white. I mean, it just looks like. I mean, I don't know if he listened to this, but I'm gonna come buy that building from you and show you how to run it.
Yeah.
So that was my dream, right? And then, and my grandpa wanted me in there to an extent, and it just
You're gonna end up with it. You're gonna end up with it.
It just didn't work out. And then so I get tubs, and I get some. I don't know if success is the word, but
it is.
I would say so.
Just some operating experience, and I was like, and my grandpa approached me again. Hey, I'll finance it. Come take it. You know what I'm saying? And at the time, my partners, I had 2 partners at the time. They were not interested in it, and so I just let it go. And he passed away last year. Just kind of like, I don't know. That haunts me. That not jumping on that place haunts me. Like my soul's there.
Yeah.
I want y'all to spread my ashes somewhere.
Okay. We got you.
Sometimes the timing's just not right. I mean, I think if all the cards were different, you would have done it. You just didn't have the right people in place.
Do you know those guys?
No, when they came in and bought it, he dug in my ear a little bit, and I kind of said, "Hey, this is what I would do. This is who I would rely on. This is who I wouldn't rely on." And I don't think you listen to much of it, but it is what it is. I don't wish this industry is so hard. I don't wish bad days on even my enemies. You know what I'm saying? Like if they're in this industry, they get punished enough.
Yeah, just trying to make it work.
Yeah.
But you grew up in Florence.
I grew up in Bennettsville.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm from Marlboro County.
There you go.
Marlboro,
I hear
Marlboro,
you.
man.
I hear that.
We'd have to cross the river if we needed husky britches, right? Or we had to come over here a little date. We'd bring them over here. Redbone Alley was the spot.
Oh yeah.
Come
to the big city.
Yep. And I was born and raised in Marlboro County. Football. I love football. I played.
Savelle Newton.
So I was a little older than Savelle, but we won the state championship in 2001. We had guys like Tymier Zimmerman, greatest football player to ever come out of the state of South Carolina. Like just amazing talent. Savelle's older brother was the quarterback.
Okay.
Quarterback something for us. He played. He don't play in the NFL too. The other Cam Newton. The unforgotten. Yeah, and he's actually on the NFL choir, which was kind of cool.
Oh, that's neat.
So,
that is cool.
I got to play with just some studs and stuff like that. Love football, love competition from like an early age. I can remember my dad saying, I think it might have been like a wee blow, not even a Boy Scout, nothing like that. I'm 6, 7 years old. My dad's like, all right, time to put this little, girl shit away. Sign you up for football.
Yeah.
And that was all it took, man.
Those country boys. Y'all are the strong country boys.
Yeah.
I remember playing you guys when I was in high school here, and I'm like, ooh, these guys are stronger than us.
Yes, sir. Well, when you have one high school in the whole darn county,
shocked,
Robert.
What
do you expect?
You couldn't handle the boys from Marlboro County.
No, sir. They were like men playing with boys.
Yeah, but they are. I mean, like the guys are, these guys out in Clio and McCall and Wallace. It's a different breed.
Yeah.
It is. It is.
So you got your experience with your grandfather up at Tubbs Inlet, Sunset Beach. Come back, you start open some restaurants.
It wasn't quite that easy. No.
So tell us about it.
Came back, got married, started having children, and then I went and worked for my other grandpa.
Okay.
Who started a business in the late 50s. He was the Watkins man. Do y'all know what the Watkins men are? Okay. So my grandfather would drive around door to door in smaller communities and sell home goods to 99% older African-American ladies, right, out of a van. And when I say home goods, I mean...
Yeah, what are home goods?
Bed in the bags, pillow shams, bathroom sets and stuff like that. But also salt and pepper hair wigs, all the liniments, salves, hair grease, stove curlers.
I might need some of that. Where's
Anything
he at?
you could ever. So we would use a little something extra to make it grow. But that sage and sulfur, the bergamot, the horse grease, All of so my grandfather started this business. My grandfather was raised in the Depression, right? Went and fought World War II, came back, and he tells a story. He was working for a guy. Imagine Walmart before Walmart, and instead of going into Walmart, they brought what you needed to your house.
It's genius.
Right? Yeah. Oh, you need a little clock radio? Here I go, pedaling up to your house. I'll, say this $2 clock radio, whatever it is. So my grandfather worked for another man doing this. And the story goes, at the Christmas party, the man had got up in front of the Christmas party. He was feeding everybody steaks and baked potatoes, and he drew a circle on the chalkboard. He said, now this is my pie, and I appreciate y'all helping me build this pie. And it pissed my grandpa off. So my grandpa walked up there at the Christmas party, instructed that man's pie, and he drew his own pie.
Yeah.
And he cut it up. He said, this is going to be our pie. Who wants to come with me?
Wow.
Right? And so my grandpa started going door to door selling whatever. Fast forward, my dad worked for him. My uncle worked for him. And then I worked for him.
All right.
Literally. How you doing, Miss Lottie? Good to see you. It's, first week of the month.
First of the month.
First of the month, right?
Money's there.
But what I'm doing, I'm providing, I'm saying, like, a lot of these families on fixed incomes, they didn't have $100 to go buy a bed and a bag, right? Or whatever it is, a new bedroom suit for their grandchild, or whatever it may be. So I had the opportunity, and when I say opportunity, it was an opportunity, and it was a tremendous blessing. Like, since I can remember riding with my dad on the route, and I'd be laid in the back of the van on like comforter sets. There ain't no, I'd ride around with him to Hartsville, and he'd take me to Yogi Bear's Fried Chicken, and we'd go to Lincoln Avenue, and we'd knock on doors, and the people he'd get anointed with oil, and he'd get to eat meatloaf sandwiches with these people. You know what I'm saying? And he'd stay and watch The Young and the Restless. And then fast forward 30 years, and I'm getting anointed with oil. I'm pallbearers at funerals.
Wow.
I'm bouncing little babies on my knees. You know what I'm saying? Watching Young and the Restless, eating pig's feet, and calling it a life. I think I was making $300 a week, right? $400 a week. But I mean, literally. So I, had kids. You can't, $400 a week. And so I told my grandpa I was going to go get like a real job. So I started working at monster.com, right?
Yeah.
So they were out here at Florence, and they had a sales center, 250 salespeople in there. And inside of that sales center, they had 2 salespeople specifically called win-back reps. And they had me call everybody that hated us, right? And bring them back to Monster. And I was good at it.
I bet.
And the next thing you know, I'm making 6 figures. Health insurance, 401k, never, dreamed of anything like that, right? Never dreamed of it. I could pay my bills for the first time ever in the history of my life. I mean, ever. I grew up not being able to pay my bills. I grew up in I guess, less than ideal situation, right? My parents weren't really around much. And there wasn't a lot of money. And so I kind of just had to fend for myself. And I had 2 little sisters. And so a lot of my time was spent raising my sisters.
Wow.
And a lot of wild stuff.
Before we get to the Monster and everything since Monster, I want to hear a little more about how you feel like how you were brought up and the circumstances and all of that. How you think that's shaped the man you are today. When I see people hurt like I hurt, like I think it's in like an inflated sense of empathy, I guess, like to the point of where like I just know the struggle. Like, I know what it's like to not have food in the fridge. I know what it's like to not know if your parents are dead or alive or coming home or I know what it's like to have every possession you have repossessed, and not really know what's going on. There's a humility that comes from that experience that you don't learn unless you've been through it.
I guess humility. If I'm able to talk about humility, I don't know if that qualifies me as being humble, but resolve, a sense of resolve, a sense of, I can just be utterly kicked in the teeth and I'm just going to keep getting back up. No questions asked.
And it's that connection with people that and other people struggling, you kind of understand it deeper.
Dude, a lady came into Tubbs yesterday. She just said she was hot, asked if she could cool down. Like, I didn't ask no questions. Please. You know what I'm saying? She, a black lady in her 80s. Please have a seat. Can I get you something to drink? I want a little water. I don't have no money. Okay, please.
Yeah.
Then I go to the server. I say, hey, whatever she wants, you feed her.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
You know, don't. And I'm not saying this to say, hey, everybody, look how amazing I am. I'm just saying, like, look, I know what that's like.
Yeah.
I know what it's like to not have $1 in your pocket and, you know, watch people thrive.
Mm.
You know, it's hard. Initially, what it builds is resentment, right?
Yeah.
Like initially, like if you had my neighbor had a two basketball goals in his backyard, right? Everything imaginable, trampolines and stuff like that. And I, you know, like at 13, you should be resentful at somebody. I mean, and I can remember being, you know, resentful at people that had stuff just simply because I didn't have it. Now, looking back on it, how ignorant was I, right? But that comes with time and experience, you know, being able to see your own.
There's a bigger purpose for all of it, I think. You know, sometimes you get those experiences because God's kind of got a bigger plan that we don't see at that time, you know?
Yeah.
I know there's a lot of lives you've already blessed just having that kindness in you that a lot of people just don't understand.
Well, I can also be an asshole.
We all can. Well, none of us are perfect.
I'll cuss your soul so fast.
Welcome to being a man.
Yeah.
I was raised by a mountain of a man. Like, I mean, my father, for all his flaws, was an absolute like memorable, remarkable person. You know what I'm saying? Like, he battled addiction and different stuff like this, but you can still go back to Marlboro County today, and even people that he might have done wrong, they still love him. It's kind of wild, man. Like,
hey, I might say he's a local legend.
In Marlboro County, I promise you, it's like I'll be doing things and I'll hear like people say, "You're from Bennettsville?" I'll be like, "Yeah, I'm from Bennettsville." I swear to God, I can remember that, and my memory is so horrible, but I can remember this was probably 8-9 years ago. Table 6 at Tubbs. So if you're ever at Tubbs, it's the back right table.
Yep.
My sister at the time, Riley Joe, was serving there, and these people were eating there, didn't know them from Adam, and they mentioned they were from Bennettsville. And I go, "Oh, I'm from Bennettsville, What's your name?" "Hardy." And the lady stopped, and she said, "Did you know a Ronnie Hardy?" I said, "That was my dad." "Wow, what'd he do to you?"
Yeah.
You know? No, my daughter was in a horrible accident, and she was pinned in the car, and this random man just pulled up and pulled her out of the car and rushed her to the hospital.
Wow.
Saved her life. It was your dad. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I still, you know what I'm saying? Like, how cool is that?
Yeah.
But then you get here, he just, broke somebody's neck with a baseball bat. Like, two sides of a coin, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So monster.com started having a little
Killing it.
success.
Killed it. Oh
Killed
my
it.
God. Yeah. First time I got like fly on an airplane. They flew me to
Okay.
Boston for training. I hate, you know what I'm saying? Like, hate that stuff. I mean, it was a lot of firsts there. You know what I'm saying? Like, I became somewhat of an adult at
Right.
monster.com, right? They bring in, it's all about your numbers. I'm great at sales. I'm just not built for HR departments.
No.
Right?
Yeah. Me neither.
Just does not sit well with me. And also some things in that environment, it's not like a meritocracy where like, hey, my hard work has dictated that, I'm taking care of them this way. It's like a lot of favorites in offices and stuff like that, man. And I just don't play that shit.
Yeah.
So, but in the meantime, my manager there, his boss, my manager's brother worked for Mark Burnett Productions, and they did Survivor, The Apprentice, and all this stuff. And he was telling him about me on the spread route. And this guy's like, "I don't believe it." I was like, "Oh, yeah, it's all legitimate." So this guy had me go around with a handy cam and film myself. And I didn't do it. Steve Toniolo actually did it. He was promoting this. Like, he saw the potential.
He saw the
in me
vision.
way
He
before
saw the vision.
anybody else. So Steve's like following me around with a handy cam, watching me knock on doors and do my thing. And I also didn't mention, if they don't pay for it, you got to repossess it too, right? So there's stories of my dad like snatching people's curtains off the wall and lighting them on fire on the front porch. Like, why? I told her, pistol in my pocket everywhere I went. You just don't ever know. So this guy sees this video and he's like, holy crap. So they fly a whole production company down here and they put GoPros in all our vans and they're
ready to do a reality TV show.
They film a 3-day sizzle reel, right?
Really?
And they had, yeah. And then they shopped around in Spike TV, which was a thing at the time.
Oh, yeah.
And I think it was TNT, one of them, whatever one that did the Repo guys.
Yeah.
That network was interested.
They're like, this is gold.
Picking up our show, right?
Hey, Marlboro County boys.
This is gold we have here,
But
guys.
it was so chintzy, man. And you get to see behind the scenes, how scripted and how staged and how much they just want me to look like a dumb redneck. Because the more dumb redneck I look, the more money they make, right?
Yep.
And so we kind of kill that deal there.
If they would have just let it be natural, that thing would probably be the top show ever.
It was, but that was just wildlife. So fast forward, I'm still at Monster filming that reality show.
I mean, that's crazy. You could have been, that could have been a big deal. But you just didn't.
I'd have messed it up somehow.
Yeah. It should have been a big deal. They messed it up. They tried to script it. You can't. They tried to put you in a box.
You gotta let me loose.
Just let that man do his thing.
But that was, unique experience. So I'm back at Monster, and Steve Toniolo and I were eating lunch, and I was eating shrimp somewhere in town, and I said, "Man, this shrimp sucks."
Yep.
I wish I could just drive down to my grandpa's and just bring people good shrimp. Steve, I don't know if y'all know Steve.
Oh yeah.
Entrepreneur through and through.
Awesome dude.
Maybe I don't know that I've ever met somebody better at conceptualizing an idea from start to finish.
And the restaurant world's in his DNA.
Yeah, Stefano's, Chibo's. They do a great job. So Steve and I, at this point, we weren't conceptualizing a restaurant, but we were like, hey, we'd get off a Monster on Friday. We'd get in my truck. We'd drive down to my grandpa's. I'd fill the back of my truck up with diver scallops, yellowfin tuna, beautiful North Carolina flounder, soft shell crabs when they're popping off, all the stuff.
And hungry.
We'd sit beside Stefano's on that little slice of earth right there.
That's right.
And we'd peddle our wares Saturday morning. And, we'd set up a cornhole table or, whatever it may be. And we created the brand Tubbs Shrimp and Fish Company. Tubbs is Tubbs Inlet. Right?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people ask that, but right there, my grandpa's back porch. So we kind of developed this brand. This was, I guess, 14, 15 years ago. If we get on Facebook and make a dumb meme, and then we'd show up and there'd be 20 cars.
So you'd sell out pretty quick.
No, not initially.
It took a little time.
It took a little time. But the great opportunity, when we weren't selling out, we were taking the seafood and we were just walking into Stefano's and cooking meals for ourselves. I go, God dog, Steve, that's the best shrimp and grits I ever had. What the? Well, and we would say that and they go, why do we have a seafood market? Not seeing that natural, that's not the fit, right? The fit is the restaurant.
The restaurant.
So next thing, over the course of time, we would sell out. There would be people waiting on us before we could even get set up. There'd be 50 cars waiting on us. And then, hey, let's pull the trigger. Steve left Monster first and helped, found that location where Tubbs is currently. It's the only thing we could afford.
Yeah, so I want to ask about that location because it's iconic. It's an old gas station.
Oh, I hear about it every day. Turner's Open Air Market. Wooden windows.
It's awesome and it's perfect, but it takes some out of the box thinking. Hey, let's put a restaurant with all kinds of rules, regulations, DHEC, inside an old nasty gas station, and you've done it, and it's awesome. In fact, I'm going to dinner there tonight. So I mean, But anyway, what was the thought process behind it?
All we can afford.
Wow,
cheap. Rent was, I think, $1,100 first year a month. We went in there and knocked down walls and laid tile. And at this point, So we realized we were going to do a restaurant. So then
Yeah.
I got to go to my wife, who's actually 8 months pregnant with my third child, and say, hey, you know this nice little thing we like to call six-figure income and health insurance and 401k? Kiss it all goodbye. And so Steve quit, I quit, and I literally would have a baby in a jumper right there, and I'm like putting down LVT tile and all night long.
Yeah.
If just real quick, first podcast, Gary Finkley, we go back to it all the time. What does a city need? It needs risk takers. And you just described a monumental risk. You jumped from comfort, from ease, into this might work, it might not work, but we're going to do it. We're going to give it a shot. So good job.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. I've also taken a lot of risks that didn't pay off,
Well, that's going to happen.
That's part of it.
It's going to happen.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
So laying tile, how does your wife respond to this? What the?
Go for it.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's good.
Um,
She knew that's what you always wanted to do.
I like to work, man. And I'll bet on myself. I haven't had the opportunity of relying on other people a lot. You know what I'm saying? I was very thankful. My grandparents were big parts of my life and helped us out a lot.
Yeah.
I lived with them from times, my sisters and all. But pretty much, if I wanted anything or needed something, it's on me. It just they don't fall down from heaven. You know what I'm saying? blessings do fall down from heaven. But I used to have a guy that say, you can sit in a corner, you can sit in a closet and pray for a hot dog. Your ass gonna starve to death.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You got to
get
up
it
and put in your part.
That's right. That's exactly right.
So I've been willing to do that from day one. I feel like
We need a lot more of that.
So what year did y'all open Tubbs on Second Loop?
13, 14 years ago, something like that. Whatever that is.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it opened
13, I guess. Is that?
We kind of soft opened it.
Yeah.
And just absolutely got punished. From day one, people busted down the doors.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's like lightning in a bottle. I mean, because at this point, I have been a part of owning, operating, or opening 6 restaurants in the Florence community. And to be able to do it successfully once is unreal. To be able to have done it somewhat successfully twice with King Hefe and Tubbs is, to me, odds defying, right?
It is.
So for people who don't know, let's just put them out there very clearly. Tubbs.
Yep.
King Hefe.
Yep. Then we went Revival Burger.
Yep.
Yeah.
Best damn burger in the history of Florence.
Yes.
I still stand on that. Location
Location
Was
hurt.
Just
great.
that location, you
But
think?
also the concept, I mean, you got to think about it. This was probably 7-8 years ago in Florence. 5 Guys, was kind of a thing, but people were already complaining about that a la carte style, all that. You know what I'm saying? I should have been more considerate when developing the menu. If you put a Revival Burger today beside in any major college town,
It would crush
Oh,
it.
God. Yeah.
Crush it.
unreal. I still believe that brand, even from the logo, just all the
It
work
is a
that
great
we
brand.
put in there. It was phenomenal, and the recipes in that burger was really.
I love
good.
that you still have that burger on the menu.
It's not the same at Hefe. It's not the same.
Yeah.
But it's as close as I could get it without diving fully into burgers.
Well,
Again.
maybe we go to Sunset. We buy your grandfather's old building. We put Tubbs #2 in there, and then we put a Revival Burger somewhere on Sunset.
Dude, money maker right there.
Yeah.
But like my granddaddy says, you got 100 days to make money down there. That's your whole thing about the beach, right? It's not Myrtle
Is
Beach
Sunset
SSA.
not a little more full year now?
No,
It's
not at
still
all.
that same.
You got 100 days.
Okay.
Wow.
So in that 100 days, you don't take a day off. You don't, you know what I'm saying? You grind for 100 days. And then day 101, you start fixing shit. You know what I'm
Until
saying?
the next 100. Yeah.
Yeah.
Getting ready for the next 100 days.
Wow, that's interesting. Yeah.
But there's a third business. I mean, you did Revival Burger.
Yep. So Revival Burger. We used Tubbs as our incubator. I'm guessing people kind of saw that along the lines.
Yep.
We took Tubbs on Tuesday, started doing Taco Tuesdays because we knew King Hefe was coming, right?
Yeah.
So we used that to perfect the King Hefe menu. And then once we had the menu settled out, hey, here's King Hefe. So then we did Moo Mondays at Tubbs, right?
Yep.
Burgers, Revival Burger, right?
Cool.
Revival Burger didn't work out. I went to a 2-year technical college for about 4 years. Didn't get a degree. But that was my college education, like Revival Burger.
Oh yeah,
right.
That's way better education you get anywhere else.
I think it ended up costing me like $300,000. Like starting all. You want to talk about starting over again and like gut punched and are you meant to do this?
You got a doctorate,
dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm teaching classes.
That's right.
Right on how to get punched in the face.
Yeah,
but that's I guess
that's business.
I'm good at it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, failed horribly and like really shook my confidence. Affected my and shook my confidence in a way where it affected my desire to take risks.
Yeah.
Right? Like, look what you just did, dumbass.
Yeah.
way to take a risk, right?
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
It was but it was a great learning experience.
But it didn't stop you.
It didn't stop me. So we went. I'm trying to remember now. We went from that. Somewhere along the way, I'd bought a bakery, Sweet. This is entrepreneur Steve. Love him for all his great things. The bakery, wouldn't it, Stephen? And at the time, I could not afford to eat the cupcakes at Sweet and somehow let him convince me into buying the damn thing.
Yeah.
So, that's whatever it was. Pizza Mio.
I remember
we
that.
jumped in that.
I remember that. Yeah.
So that was Steve's dad, Big Steve, had that spot, and they were going to do a pizza. They were going to do their own pizza concept, and he got locked in with some rent and stuff like that, and then he had some health problems, right? And so Steve came and was like, "Hey, I think we have an opportunity to not only help my dad, but to make some money." And I'm good with both of those things.
Yeah.
So jumped in that business. It's cool to. I enjoy learning the different process of these different things. Like dough, you would just think, okay, dough is dough. Not many things, 4 different things in it, but like dough is a science.
Yeah.
Dough is a process. Dough is a logistics nightmare.
Oh.
Right? Like learning things like that about the industry.
Is it still there?
It is not. It's now a wing place.
That's right. Wingstop.
Wingstop. Yeah.
God, I was at West Florence Monday night. Don't eat all day Monday until 5 o'clock. That's my thing. I had to go watch my son play tennis. I wanted to go somewhere that I thought was somewhat healthy. I went to Wingstop. You don't own that, do you?
No.
God, it sucked.
You'd have been,
It was horrible.
He loved it.
I showed up with this bag that they call it food. I don't know if it was. And my daughter's, who goes to West Florence, she's like, you should have known not to go there.
Look, wings are my thing. Like my death row meal was probably like meatloaf, wings, a banana milkshake, right?
Yeah.
And it is sad. I haven't found the wing spot in Florence.
They hadn't done it
yet.
Well, it's not.
There's a lot of them.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So Pizza Mio, it ended up not working out, but not because it wasn't a good concept or good quality food.
Yeah.
It just, I'm saying like, it just didn't work. Sometimes these things don't work.
That's right.
We now own and operate Tub Shrimp and Fish Company. I now own and operate Tub Shrimp and Fish Company, King Hefe, and Down Country Grill, which is located inside of Hope Health. It is open to regular customers, all you people out there listening, inside of Hope Health downtown. We do breakfast and lunch Monday through Friday, daily lunch specials, daily breakfast specials. We're making stuff from scratch back there.
Wow.
The burgers are phenomenal. Actually, I had a burger from there Monday. It might be my favorite burger in Florence right now.
We need to go.
Okay.
So is there a cool little area to eat?
Yeah,
there?
there's places to sit down and eat.
Cool.
All that. Yeah.
Down Country Grill.
Down Country Grill.
On Hope Health, corner of
I think
Irby
it's
and
134
Evans?
Irby. Yep.
Yeah.
Is the address there. Right there in the back, right where the pharmacy is.
Yes.
If you pull around the back, there's parking. It says Hope Health.
Yeah.
Down Country Grill parking.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's really a nice campus right there. And it's right. It's really kind of walkable from all the downtown stuff.
The Mike Rickenbach guys have been killing us lately. Love it.
Good.
That's
yeah.
cool.
Good.
That's good.
And so it really is quality food. I enjoy, and we do wings there too, and our wings there pretty damn good, right?
Okay.
Well, there we go. We got a wing spot.
And I have my manager Jess is running that place, and actually Jess has been with me. She has been every position in every restaurant I have.
Wow.
and
That's valuable.
works harder than any man back there in a kitchen, is sharper than, just about anybody. And I try to surround myself with people of my own ilk. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm not supposed to surround myself with. I don't want a vacuum, like an echo chamber.
Yeah.
I don't want 10 carbon copies of me. But what I do want is people that will just work and grind. And they might operate out of frustration or a little chip on their shoulder or whatever it may be. But I like to watch people build themselves up and pull themselves up and just like gain confidence.
That's awesome.
And be able to find stability and stuff on their own. And
how many people do you employ?
At one point, I think my highest count, I had 80 employees.
Wow.
In Florence.
That's a
and
lot.
now I'm a little over 50 employees.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah. I mean, it's,
Like you said, that's a big payroll every week.
yeah, it's a big responsibility. What it is for me, it's a lot of house payments that have to be made.
Yeah.
It's a lot of medical bills for a lot of kids that have to be
Wow.
paid. You know what I'm saying? It's not, I'm probably wrong for operating like this because it leads me to make decisions that aren't best for the business. But like when COVID happened or things like that, like I'm going to pay my bills. I'm going to get out. I'm going to do things. I'll do illegal things probably to pay my bills. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
Like,
right.
I'm going to do what I need to do to pay my bills.
Right.
I'm going to dig ditches. I'm going to go, kill possums and sell the pelts. Whatever the hell I got to do, I'm going to do it. But I'm also going to do whatever I have to do so that their bills are paid too, as long as they're working with me.
And that's the beauty of local operators, local owners, and the community supporting local business, because we're all invested here. It all kind of synergizes together. We go eat at Tubbs. You make some money that helps pay your employees so that their kids can get health care, and it all just kind of synergizes.
Richie Skipper told
together.
us it turns local business that money turns 7 times
I believe it.
in the local community.
Yeah.
I believe it. So, I mean, like employing a mom and then a couple years later employing her daughter and then watching the mom buy that daughter's first car
That's
and then
awesome.
watching the daughter pay her own car insurance.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
right. Like it's awesome to see, but I carry those as responsibilities and
Wow.
burdens. Right.
Wow.
If an employee can't pay their house payment, well, part of that, I know it should be, but I feel like part of that's on me. Like, what kind of asshole am I? You know what I'm saying? Like paying somebody a wage that they can't not only, have a little bit of fun, you know what I'm saying? Take their kid out to the damn China buffet and make a house payment. What kind of, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
How can I live with myself? So I'm going to make sure they eat. I'm going to try to make sure they eat before I eat.
Wow. That's powerful.
And this is all from a guy who grew up in Marlboro County, sold curtains to little old ladies on the street, found a job at Monster, found a passion that connected back to your childhood with your grandfather, and you've built some incredible businesses, some incredible
He's
restaurants.
just getting going, Reeves.
Yeah. And
The sky's the
best,
limit for
the
you,
best
man.
is yet to come.
The sky's the limit.
If this is all I get to do, like if you're like capped out, Kyle, this is it. Like I'm happy. Like as far as like things and stuff like that, I don't need a whole lot. Like I'm not ever going. I don't ever have the dreams of getting rich. It just ain't like I just don't think it's a reality. Like my hard work is not going to. I'm not going to see the reward for my hard work in hundreds of thousands of dollars in bank account, in beach houses, and luxury trips. That's not how it's going to come to me. Now, hopefully, I work hard enough that my children have an easier life than I have. I just want to be able to get a little car when they're 16 and maybe go to college if they're smart enough. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
And you've already got your daughter helping you in a big way,
dude,
which is awesome.
So my oldest daughter, Olivia, She graduated from South Florence. And when she graduated, she jumped right into EMT. So when she graduated high school, she was already like an EMT, advancing to EMT. I mean, like saving lives. Like literally, my 18-year-old daughter would come home from work, and I'd say, "Hey, baby, how was your day?" And she's like, "Oh, gunshot wound to the head. Guy impaled in his car. It was okay. How was your day, Dad?" I'm like, "Oh my God."
Yeah.
Like I'd have to go, soak in a tub. And, you know what I'm saying? Like, how do you wash that off of you?
Yeah.
And I had, an 18-year-old daughter just dealing with that like nerves of steel.
Wow.
And so fast forward this year, she quit her job as a first responder, and she's joined me at the restaurant full time and has taught herself every executive function required to operate those places more successfully than I've been doing them thus far, honestly.
Wow, that's awesome.
That's good.
Yeah.
And if somebody's choking on a fish bone, she can save them.
Literally.
And then get back to the book.
You have no idea the people she's stitched up in that office. She gives me my B12 shot in that office every whenever I get like.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's got to be fun working with your daughter.
Oh my God. And then my 16, so Olivia has been working. She started in the bakery when she was 12 years old, right? So she's been working for me for, the last 10 years roughly.
Yeah.
My middle daughter, Laura Grace, she attends West Florence, and she's there. She's in the STEM program there.
Cool.
And like just excels.
That's intense.
And she kills it, like absolutely kills it. Puts a lot of pressure on herself. We're working with that, but like just so smart and so good and works so hard. She don't know this yet. We recently started an employee of the month, thing at Tubbs, and it's no nepotism. She is going to be named our second employee of the month at Tubbs. Like, Miss Kelly won the first month, and so this month it's going to be my daughter Laura Grace. And I didn't decide that. That's like from her peers.
That's awesome.
At 6 years old,
They see her working.
Yeah, if she could legally run alcohol, she could run that restaurant right now.
Wow.
Okay.
Honestly, at 16 years old, sharp. And then my son Colton, he's 12. He just wants to hang out in the dish pit and talk junk. He likes the back of the house of the restaurant.
Okay.
He wants to tell you mama jokes and you know what I'm saying, do all that.
Hey,
fun
you need
stuff.
a good back of the house guy.
Hey, you have to have that. You know what I'm
Well,
saying?
and I just think it's so cool because when we talk to guys who owning businesses, and you're in your first generation, but the second generation's coming, and I think that family legacy is so cool.
Oh yeah.
I
That's
agree.
so awesome.
Yeah, I haven't. My I feel like my family's legacy up until this point is kind of murky and not been positive a whole lot up until now. I mean, you come from a small town. Everybody knows your business.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody knew.
Oh
pretty
yeah.
much what was going on
Yeah.
in that wild ass house.
But there's
You
a
know?
lot of people that love you guys there too.
Yeah,
Y'all,
and it's
there's more stories about your dad helping people you haven't heard yet.
1,000%. And legacy ain't leaving my son a Rolex.
Oh,
That's not. And for a while though, I thought,
that's what it was.
when my father passed away, I was like, I got a pair of boots. You know what I'm saying, and a bunch of debt.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of legacy was this? But that's not legacy. Legacy is I'm working hard to give them a better name, right? That's like a legacy. My hard work and the way I treat God's children, hopefully people will give them an opportunity because of that.
Wow, that's awesome, man. I tell you, I'm proud of you, dude. Florence is blessed to have you here. You're honestly a bigger part of this town than you probably even realize. And keep on trucking.
Well, and like you said, Robert, I think, the best is yet to come. And my wife and I, we love to go King Cafe on Friday evenings. We love to go to Tubbs.
Yes.
Typically, we'll hit Tubbs Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. We'll try to hit King Cafe on a Friday. But the best is yet to come, Kyle. And I'm excited for what you've done. I'm thankful for you. I'm excited to hear your story. I didn't know it, so that's really cool. And whatever is coming next, I think it's going to be some cool things. So good job.
Well, good or bad, it's coming, right?
That's right.
That's right. That's right.
I just got to, my granddaddy, he'd look at, I can My favorite three things about my grandfather at the beach, Papa Joe.
Papa Joe.
He whistled like the best whistler you ever like, and he'd just be there cutting flounder all day long. And I could sit there and listen to him whistle all day. I'd get one dirty joke a day, right? And then I'd get one, and then every now and then he'd throw out this little cherry that I get a hold of for like a motivational thing, right?
Yeah.
My favorite one was, if it ain't one thing, it's your mother, right? But then, I could
There's
always
a lot of
see
truth in
him,
that.
how you eat an elephant. Sam, like that's his thing. How you eat an elephant, son. And one bite at a time.
That's right.
I suggest you don't do more than that because you'll choke. That was,
as you're living life, those little sayings just come to you, don't they?
I could say,
and they molded you.
Dude, nothing sticks in my brain, but the things that stick are like intended. You know what I'm saying? They're like God absolutely wants them there because leave it behind.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I get overwhelmed. I mean, this week I'm like, one bite at a time, Bubba. You got this.
That's right.
Like, what it is. So about a year ago, I started reading like Stoic. I started getting into Stoic philosophy. I really like some of the principles that helps me focus on a daily basis. I think that's been pretty helpful to me recently. A big thing, so it might sound dumb. I'm reading a couple of weeks ago, and it's just like, it rolls around in my head every day is, it's okay to not. Why do I feel like I have to have an opinion on everything? Right? Like the philosophy, it was referencing like something Marcus Aurelius had quoted, and then it goes on like a recent application on the negative consequences of feeling like you have to have an opinion on everything. And so I'm practicing that. And I find it comforting to realize that, one, my opinion really doesn't matter all that much, especially doesn't have the depth and weight that I consider it to have, right?
And it opens space in your brain for other things. You're like clogging your brain up with some opinion that doesn't matter to you.
The outcome, whether I go A or B on that opinion, life moves on, right? Like whether it was a poor choice or a bad choice, whatever, or a great choice, like life still moves on, and I still have an opportunity the next day to do either something good, bad, right, wrong. You know what I'm saying? The choices never stop.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to make less choices.
Interesting.
Right?
Interesting.
And just kind of be. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we need you freed up because we need your restaurants to keep doing great, and we need you to add a few more.
Well, I don't have an opinion on that, so really.
Good. Let it happen. Just let it roll.
Just let things happen,
Thank you so much for coming, dude. This was awesome.
Thank y'all. Yeah. I appreciate it.
Yeah,
We're gonna have you back. So
yeah, we're gonna have you back. You are back on at least a yearly. And next year when you're back, I'm so excited to see what you've got going on. It's gonna be you've got some pretty cool things ahead.
I appreciate it. I'm grateful to this community. Like Florence has given me the opportunity to like learn a lot more about myself, become a man, raise a family. Like up until this point, I was incapable of like looking people in the eye. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like through the gifts this community has given me, I can sit at any table with anybody and be myself and be totally comfortable with that. And like that's probably the greatest reward from all this.
That's why AI says you're a local legend. You are.
Thank you.
Thank you, dude.
Yeah, absolutely.
See you.